Welcome back. All right, so I did opt to watch Detroit and Chicago. The whole wrestling thing's going to have to wait until later. That's a whole other story that I'll tell on the other channel. But anyways, yeah, so we had Detroit and Chicago tonight, and it was entertaining. These are two teams that, of course, expectations have gone up a little bit for Detroit. They've gone up a lot in Chicago. So the overall result from tonight may not be to the happiness of Chicago fans, but you know what? They had a good game. This is going to be interesting to see how their season goes. Some of the guys appear to be gelling quite well. So it was Lankinen versus Grice to start off tonight. The Taves line started the game. Jonathan Taves, I thought, looked good. I thought as the game went along, he's probably getting a little bit tired. It's the first game he's played in over a year, but I thought he played well. Scrambly start to the game. Nemesnikov deflects one wide. Ernie had a shot that was saved, so Detroit came out pretty well. The shots were 6-0 for the Wings, 5.5 minutes into this. It wouldn't stay that way, but yeah, the Wings definitely came out looking like a pretty sharp team to start things off. Doc had a centering pass that was blocked away. Lankinen, the one keeping it scoreless. Reichel with a rush. Grice covers it up, and then at 6:27, it's the Wings that get on the board first. Rasmussen from Ernie and Osterley. I thought Osterley had a very good game. I thought Ernie had a good game as well. And Rasmussen, you know, the expectation is his scoring should go up from where it was last year. And based on tonight, yeah, it's a pretty safe bet. The Hawks then went to the power play. Bowden had a point shot that was saved and held. The Wings killed it off. We get some back and forth play after that. Chicago didn't end up scoring on the power play tonight, but they had a good-looking power play at points. So, again, we'll see if all this practice in the preseason, if it ends up panning out in the regular season, right? The Wings shot blocking. The fans were pretty quiet in this one. It's a preseason game. They weren't getting a lot of opportunities, and they were behind. The shots were 9-3 for the Wings halfway through the period. The Hawks then press, saves by Grice. Wings were holding the Hawks to the outside pretty well to that stage of the game. Jujhar Khaira fired a shot wide. I thought he played well. Wings cleared out. Murphy with a point shot, saved by Grice. And then a double doinker by Gaudette, which is off of one post and off the other and out. Pressed by the Hawks, and then during that pressure, they score. It's Kubalik from Kurashev and Taves at 16:50. So Taves is on the board. And again, you may not get the win tonight for Chicago. However, Taves gets on the board. It was a 5-hole goal, but it wasn't a bad one. Kubalik just waited him out. Kubalik's a goal scorer. We saw it there. Hawks then pressed for the lead. The momentum had shifted to Chicago. And Borgstrom was 4 for 5 on faceoffs in the first period. He's making an argument for himself to get on the roster as well. Second period, Lankinen denied Nemesnikov in the first minute. Hagel with shot blocks. Good start for the Wings. However, that would change. It is Hagel from Doc and Jones, and that's Caleb Jones at 2:08. Wings then tried to come back and tie it, but it goes the other way. And Jujhar Khaira with a perfect tip shot from Murphy and Entwistle at 3:45. And Gaudette was screening on that play as well. So a little over a minute and a half, Chicago scores twice, and they get the lead. But you can't celebrate that you've got the lead. You can't be at the bench like, hey, wait, what's going on? Stevens scores from Ryan and Hirose at 4:13. Remember, Mitchell Stevens comes over from Tampa. We'll see how well he plays for Detroit this year. I thought Bobby Ryan had a good game. He's just on a professional tryout. That's probably part of the reason why you have a good game if you're Bobby Ryan. You're trying to win a job. You're not guaranteed a job, right? So that one eluded Lankinen. And nice goal by Stevens. Hagel, then with a fast break, he just misses. And then there's too many men on the ice. The Hawks go to the power play. Dangerous power play. The Wings, though, doing a good job blocking. Gaudette fires one wide. Nylander had a shot that was saved. Gaudette's next shot was saved, and the Wings did kill it off, allowing some shots, but the PK comes through. Pickard then comes in. He's tested right away, and Calvin Pickard. You know, I liked Pickard back when he was in Colorado. I haven't seen anything in the last, 4 years, where I've said, hey, Pickard played really well. Tonight, hey, Pickard played really well. So yeah, that was kind of a bit of a surprise. So, Caleb Jones had a shot that was saved after the Hawks press. The Hawks then go back to the power play. Kirby Dach hits the outside of the post. And then short-handed, Osterley had a chance. That was saved. The Wings did kill off that power play. Lankinen denies Yan after the cross-ice pass. Was funny because Dennis Yan, I had to look him up. I'm like, Dennis Yan? I kept looking through my annuals because I was hearing names. I'm like, is this guy? Okay, this is a guy I don't even see in here. So it is that time of year where you'll hear names and go, who? So Yan's 24 years old, coming back from a year in Europe, so he's likely headed for Grand Rapids. But I thought he played well. That's why I actually put basically him on the board a few times and had to make a point of talking about him here. So the Hawks get a chance, but Yan disrupted it. Osterley had a chance that would then deflect out. Game was more settled after that 2-2 tying goal, or the 3-2 goal for Detroit to keep it within one goal. So Ernie playing well, Wings keeping it close. There was a 3-on-2 for the Taves line. Osterley broke that up, and the Wings press in the final minute. So going into the third period, they're down 3-2, right? In the third period, Pickard's tested early, and I kind of expected the Hawks to score again. This is a home game. I know it's preseason, but it's a home game. And you've got Taves, you've got Doc. You're not playing Kane. You're not playing DeBrincat. Detroit had plenty of big names that weren't in the lineup tonight either. But still, I kind of expected the Hawks to pull away a bit. They get another power play. They had a lot of power plays. Good penalty kill. The Hawks had issues setting that up. There was a post for Kubalik just as the power play came to an end. Ernie then takes a penalty right after that puts the Hawks back on the power play. So if there's one thing that hurt Detroit tonight, it was that they kept taking penalties. If there's one thing that stands out as being really good for Detroit tonight, it's the penalty killing. So 6 in one and half dozen in the other. Pickard makes a glove save. Good performance by him. Good penalty kill as well by Nemesnikov. The Wings kill off that 5th power play, and they had none themselves. Detroit with 0 power plays to that point in the game. The Wings press. Lankinen covers after looking behind him, and it wasn't the only time that Lankinen kind of looked around nervously. But I thought Lankinen acquitted himself pretty well tonight. And during the game, too, they were talking about how the expectation is that Lankinen and Fleury will split the net. That Lankinen is not necessarily seen as the backup, and Jeremy Colton's been clear that Lankinen is like, 1A, 1B, and this is not a situation where there's the clear backup and the clear starter. We'll see if that continues to be the case in the season, of course, or what the plan is. Stillman rifles one wide. The Wings then press the other way. Post for Lashoff. And then Taves, they pointed out, was leading the Hawks forwards in ice time tonight. So, again, good. He's getting back in. This is his first game in over a year. He looked good. Again, it felt like his ice time might have been getting cut back a little bit as the game went along. The Wings then finally get a power play. Chris Cuolo, I know I'm going to butcher that, but he had a shot that was blocked. Decent power play. The Hawks killed it off. Lankinen with the glove save. He holds on to it. And so, yeah, the Hawks do kill it off. Kurashev then with some dangles, and Sabrango defended that without a shot, and also without taking a penalty. So, good job, Sabrango. Net feed held onto by Pickard. Lankinen then held a heroic shot at the other end on the following play. Pickard stops a chance for Reichel. I think Reichel's played himself onto the roster, but the expectation was he was going to be there anyways. Hawks press with 2.5 minutes left. The Wings pull the goalie with 2 minutes left, and then they score. And it's Ryan from Ernie at 18:09, and it's just one of those goals that just kind of goes in. So Bobby Ryan with the tying goal to go with the assist he had earlier. It's a nice backhand goal, and I just put up there destined for OT now. I did not see this being settled in regulation once Detroit tied it there with 1:51 left. And sure enough, we go to overtime. The Hawks had the early possession. It was the Taves line that started out 3-on-3. Kalanick was denied. Ernie was denied at the other end too. Hirose tries to go through everyone. Well, it's only 3 players, so kind of understandable, although you're putting yourself in a position where you might be out of position when that puck's turned over, which it was. Lankinen then stops another chance. The Hawks get a 2-on-1. Pickard makes the save there. Wings cleared it out and went offside before they generated an opportunity on that play. Hagel beats out an icing, and then he was robbed. And then, because Pickard was having the best game he's had, I don't think anybody told Calvin Pickard that these stats don't count for the regular season. I have a feeling Pickard's going to be looking at the stat line from night and saying, I played. That's That's going to look so good on a resume, and somebody's scratching their head somewhere going, Calvin? It's not, this is preseason. So Pickard denied Hagel again. Hronik keeps Kubalik away from the net. Puck ends up on the goal line, on the edge. And Hawks fans were like, that's got to be in. You could just hear like them, when they looked out on the big screen. Now the whistle had gone. People will point out the whistle had gone, so it's not like Pickard was diving back to save it or anything, or that he was caught out of position because the whistle had gone. Everybody had heard it. But if that puck had gone in, right, it just didn't. It was on edge. So when I'm saying on edge, I mean it was like this on the goal line, right here, goal line, and just sitting there. Fantastic play. Impressive. And yes, I always have a puck within reach. Whenever you're talking about hockey, it's good to always have a puck around. Happy Gilmore was right. So, yeah, we go to a shootout. And in the shootout, it was Chicago takes the first shot and Taves scores. So there you go. You get a shootout goal from Jonathan Taves. You get an assist from Jonathan Taves. You get a lot of ice time from Taves. Ernie then gets a goal to tie it up. Reichel gets a goal to make it 2-1 in favor of Chicago. And then Rasmussen was saved. So the puck is on Kurashev's stick. The game is on Kurashev's stick. And it's a save. And then Hirose, with a nice goal, ties it at 2 to send it to that extra skater. The extra skater, Doc. And he just flat out missed it. He handled it, and it just went right to Pickard. I don't know if that counts as a shot or a miss. I wrote it down as a miss because he just trickled off of his stick right to Pickard. And then Bobby Ryan with the goal and the winner. So I would expect that Steve Yzerman, watching Bobby Ryan score a goal to tie it, score the game-winning goal in the shootout, and have an assist as well on the 3-2 goal, you got to sign him, right? Bobby Ryan's got to have played himself into a job with the Detroit Red Wings, right? And, so fun game. It wasn't as fun in the first period as it became later. It was, especially early on, it was like, this is a slow game. And the other problem was I had watched some of the Washington-New Jersey game, which was just crazy. And then this one started, and I'm like, did I pick the wrong game? But in the end, I don't think I did. Because this game, these are some jobs up for grabs. And I think some guys did a good job of solidifying jobs in the case of Jujhar Khaira, who had a good fourth line role tonight. Not saying that he was necessarily on that fourth line, but he played that fourth line type role. And so Detroit comes out with the win. It's preseason, but yeah, it was a pretty good game between two teams that sadly are no longer in the same division. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.